see the book and communicate with them. So, most of us don't do that, and it gives her an inner edge.
It's so funny, Bruce. I don't want to interrupt you, but when people, we'll have patrons, people call in. Can you hear me back there, guys? When people call in to schedule the tour, it's so fun. It's a small tour. We're very highly rated. We stay busy, but it's small. So somebody will always ask, they'll call, well, now, I want the tour. I want to make sure that Boo is leading the tour tonight. So we always kind of crack up because we say, oh, well, she's going to be doing it tonight. Well, really, folks, I'm the only one that does it. So we always laugh, yay, who's going to be there tonight? But anyway, a lot of fun.
Okay, so the other thing I'm just going to mention, and I know she'll talk about it, for years and years and years, I would see Boo, Sarah and I would go to the Gem and Mineral Show, and there would be Boo helping her friend out at one of the great big booths with all the rocks and stuff. And Sarah would say, well, how's your book coming? How's your book coming? Oh, it's coming along. I'm working on it. This has been years now. Well, guess what? The book is finally published. And I purchased it at the last Jim Middle Show. It is so much fun to read. Each chapter is about a different haunted house or building or something in the state of Georgia. And Boo not only can communicate with the spirits and find out why they're still there, she also loves history, so she researched why they're there, what happened. Anyway, it's a really good book. I highly recommend it.
To leave?
Some of them, she got them to leave, but others not because they didn't want to. I mean, that's the kind of thing that, she would do. So let me mention one thing. If you have a question for Boo, speak loudly, okay? Thank you very much. Speak loudly, loudly.
Oh, thank you.
What do y'all, does somebody sit or stand or?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do.
Can I just prop you on it?
You can stand on the table and dance.
I was going to take my clothes off and start.
You can do that, but you were too
cold. I know,
You might have to watch her.
I'd like to thank the Dowsers Club for having me here tonight, allowing me to speak on one of my favorite passions, ghosts. The other one is history. So they really blended very well in the book because it's not only historical, but it is about actual encounters with the ghost, channeling, and getting it from the ghost's own words about their issues while they got trapped. You get to know them really as the person that they were when they were physically alive. So anyway, the book for me was a lot of fun. It was work, a lot of work, but it combined my two passions, history and the paranormal. Anyway, before I begin though, I have a confession to make to everybody. I feel I ought to get this out of the way. I, like most humans, have been petrified of ghosts. I grew up petrified of them. I didn't understand them. I didn't understand why they were always coming to me. I was a little girl. In fact, the first ghost I remember seeing, I was like 3 years old, and I was in my bedroom, the lights were out, I was about 3 or 4, and all of a sudden I saw in the dark, I saw the closet door open across the road. And out came this lady. And she didn't look quite solid, like the human I'd seen. But this old lady, she glided across from out of the closet, glided across the room and over my bedside. Well, I was petrified. Now, most people use covers, to keep them warm. I would use the covers to hide under, truly. The thing is, she would come to the bed, and I don't know if she ever said or did anything because I was already under the covers. I never knew when she left. I just could feel her standing there. She would come night after night. There was a man I lived in an old 1920s two-story house in Daytona Beach, Florida. Grew up there. And outside the window, I could look out some nights, there in the moonlight, and be this man, this one-eyed man, floating outside the window with, this ghost. I didn't know what they were at the time, though. We're talking a 3 or 4, 5-year-old child, okay? And it was interesting because the first time I really became aware that adults weren't seeing what I was seeing, I just thought everybody saw what I saw, one of the first times was my mom took me to a funeral. You know, in the South, there's a wake, and there's always somebody respectfully standing by the casket, you know. Well, I was just a little girl, and I remember I walked into the casket. You know, children are curious about death. I mean, you know, there's that about the unknown. They don't seem to have a fear of it like a lot of adults do, at least at that time. And I walked into the casket, and I asked the lady, the living lady, I said, "Where's the dead lady?" You know, I'm looking, "Where's the dead lady?" I couldn't see in the casket. And the lady looked at me kind of like, "Are you weird or what?" Well, I heard one of my aunts tell my mom I was a peculiar child. I didn't know. I thought she was complimenting me, maybe. "Oh, beautiful." You know, no. Not old Annie Lou. But the thing is, I asked the lady again, I said, "Where's the dead lady?" Because to me, the dead lady, well, she was standing right there next to her casket, the ghost was, and next to the living lady. So I was very confused. But the living lady, she didn't, I can't blame her, but she got really irritated with me when I kept asking me. She said, I still remember, she said, "This is not proper behavior at a funeral. You don't act like this. I'm going to tell your mother if you don't stop." And I was like, of course, you didn't tell my mom. Oh my gosh, my mom, I respected her. I just kind of shrunk. And I learned you don't talk about it to people, because to adults. Because when I did try to tell them what I was seeing, I always got one of three explanations. Number one, "Oh, you know, little Boo, she's got night terrors. She's afraid of the dark." Or I would get, "Boo, Boo, it is not nice to lie. You're ripping the blanket. It's not nice to tell fibs." Okay, well, that didn't help either. Or number three, I would get, "That Boo, she's got a great imagination. She's gonna grow up to be a great writer." Well, I do hope the latter is true, folks, you know, but it still didn't help me back then with my ghost issues. And the thing is, as you know, children, it wasn't really so, you know, you've heard of imaginary friends. They do exist. I had friends growing up. I was never lonely as a child. I was kind of too peculiar for a lot of the kids to play with. You know, there's always something kind of weird about me, you know. But I always had my ghost friends. I was never lonely, really. I mean, you know. But as time went on, most children, well, one reason why young children, it's so easy for them to see spirits, ghosts, spirits from the other side, whatever, is that they were so close at that young age to the other side. Right? It hasn't been long gone from the spirit realm, right? Like that's his life. But as time goes on, they assimilate into the verbal world of humans and so on. That ability doesn't get lost, really gets more misplaced. I just happen to be one of the ones that it never shut down on. No matter how hard I tried not to see them, not to be part of it, they were everywhere. I never could figure out why I couldn't get rid of this affliction, you know. Anyway, the thing is, it stayed with me, so I figured, well, I had to do something, because sometimes it would, I mean, truly, into my 20s, I stayed scared. I mean, when I went to college, I was at this, you know, it was Civil War area or whatever, this old college, and so, my God, it was rife with ghosts. They'd come in my room. Now, how embarrassing is it? I'm, 19-year-old sophomore, junior. I have to go and beg somebody to let me sleep on the floor in their room by myself in my room. Now, you know, that's kind of extreme. But probably when my 20s started, I said, "Boo, you got to get a grip on this, you know?" So I started studying, reading everything I could get. It truly is knowledge is power. Like praying, meditating, I was pulling out all the stops here. Well, eventually it started working. I started getting an understanding about who I was and my abilities and so on. I came along in the 60s. We had Jane Dixon. Now, I couldn't identify with elderly, you know, old Jane Dixon, you know. But the thing is, I learned about my four abilities. In fact, I use I've been a professional psychic, psychic medium. There is a difference in a psychic and a psychic medium. A psychic, you know, they have the psychic abilities, but they're doing general work, like they'll tell you about a relationship, a job, whatever. Not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics, because you have to use the four psychic, well, take that back. You don't have to use all four abilities. I happen to use the four. You could use one or two and be quite efficient, quite effective as a psychic medium. The abilities I use to do my work, I like clairvoyance. This is a French word for clear seeing. This is where, okay, if I'm doing a reading or working a crime scene or with an investigation or whatever, I'll literally see things play out like a film clip, or I'll get visuals of maybe somebody being stabbed, or like Sarah knows our principal we had, Mitzi. I was sitting in a faculty meeting one day, and you know, just minding my own business, probably all zoned out somewhere, you know, trying to learn how to get along, you know. And I'm just sitting there, all of a sudden around Mitzi, I saw her sister, a younger sister. She had stab wounds in her chest. She had been stabbed. She had all these bloody wounds in her chest. I'm in the middle of a faculty meeting, okay, I think. The ghost told me, she said, she's fixing to go through a hard time, but tell her she's going to persevere, she'll get through it. Well, I checked on Mitzi's sister later. I found out she'd been murdered. She'd been stabbed to death, probably a few years back, all right? The thing is, I was never able to tell Mitzi this, though, because Mitzi was a Jehovah's Witness. Now, I don't have anything against that, but if I had gone in there and told her, she put up with me. She knew I was a little odd, but she put up with me as long as, I know Sarah will tell you about, you know, our experiences, but she put up with me as long as I kept it kind of under, you know, covers, so to speak. So I couldn't go in and tell her. Sure enough, I won't go into it because it was a big legal thing, had to do with Ann Smith, the child, whatever, but anyway, it came to pass. But how I saw this, though, that was clairvoyance when I saw the wounds on her body, and really I was using clairaudience, which is clear hearing, to hear her message. All right, that's the second psychic ability. Third psychic ability that I use, or that many people use, I'm not the only one, is clairsentience. This is a very common one. A lot of healers, empaths use this ability. It's clear feeling. This is where you feel somebody's emotions. You pick up the physical feelings. When I'm doing medical intuitive, I can experience pain in my knee. I can tell my client, you're having pain in your knees, aren't you? There's some joint issues going on. Or I might see it clairvoyantly, inflamed areas. All right? That's clairsentience. Or you could pick up the emotions around somebody, like depression and so on. The trick is, a lot of healers, empaths, psychics, whatever, if they don't realize what's happening, they will take on the energy themselves, heart problems, and or they will think that the emotion is theirs, and they'll be depressed, and it's not even their real emotion. So there are caveats to using the abilities. Okay, so you know what you're doing, to be educated about it. The fourth ability that I use, and a lot of people use and not aware of it, is clairgustus. This is clear smelling, clear tasting. Like when I was doing reading, you know, you try to get verification of somebody's loved one, or when you're working with a ghost or whatever. I work with spirits on the other side also. And clairgustus is where, say, you might tell your client, I'm smelling a cigar. It really is smelly. It's a really smelly cigar. And they say, oh my gosh, my grandpa smoked these old cigars, these cheap ones, they were stinking. That's clairgustus, you say. Or, like when I'm doing animal communication, the dog or the cat, the person, you know, I don't like to say owner, they're human, likes, you know, is checking on the food, or they sick, or they just don't like the food. The dog or the cat will give me a taste of paper in my mouth. I'm really tasting like eating paper. I mean, yeah, it's tasteless. I don't like it. That's clairgustus, all right? So anyway, as I'm, you know, going along, it was, I had so many people coming up, and I was doing, you know, readings here, and they didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I seemed to be okay, because everybody kept coming to me. finally Sarah, one of the ones that encouraged me, Boo, you gotta face yourself here. You gotta take an energy class, you know. I was kind of like, oh, that's all woo. Sarah, come on, Boo. I don't have the money, Sarah. Well, Sarah, I'll put you right now, you know. Well, that kind of got me into it. There was no running from it. You can't run from your destiny, you know. Simple as that. So, since then, I love what I do and everything, especially working with ghosts. One thing about it, I prefer to call psychic abilities divine abilities. Now, two things here that my guides, I mean, they're constantly, everybody has your own team of guides and angels. I'm not the only one, okay? We've all got our own team that comes in with us, helps life, you know, a little easier when we're here in the human realm. And one of the things is they're really, I see psychic abilities as divine abilities as part of your divine birthright from the divine. If you want to, whoever, God, Yahweh, Goddess, whatever you want to call the source, all right? They're to help us. People are scared of them when there's really no need to be. You just have to learn how to use them. They were given to us. They're part of our divine birthright. Anybody can do what I do. Maybe not to the extent I do. We've all got different, you know, missions in life, okay? But I always try to remember what Edgar Casey said about psychic development. He said, psychic development is really a case of spiritual development. And it is so true, guys, because truly, one of your biggest protections when you're doing psychic work, any kind of healing work, whatever, is where are you at? As a person, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. When I'm doing clearings, investigations, I've worked with some nasty ghosts. I mean, you know, oh, they're mean ghosts. People always say, boo, we're not mean ghosts. You know, yeah, you work, I said, yes. I've had them spit at me, growl, come to the wall growling, pull my hair, you know, try to disrupt my focus, whatever, you know. But I'm always working with guides and angels. I don't do this work by myself. I tell people flat out, I give credit where it's due. I'm just the human part, the little channel. All right, that's their realm, their realms and so on. I'm kind of holding down the physical. The thing is, also, when people are working with their abilities and their divine abilities, when I'm teaching, I prefer to have them think of it as reconnecting, not developing. I know there's a certain amount of knocking off the rust and so on, you know, a little development here and there, but it's mainly a case of reconnecting with who you truly have always been. A very divine being with all these abilities. You see, you're limitless. Just as simple as that. Well, back to the ghosts, though. The two most questions I get asked the most often are, what are ghosts? What are these things, you know? There seems to be a big confusion about them. People tend to think, well, I'll tell you one thing that they're not. They are not inanimate objects like the chair. They are sentient beings, all right? They're just a little different than us, different form. The other question I get a lot of times is, why do they get trapped? What is the problem with them? You know, why don't they just move on, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, the thing is, they have obsessions and so on. But let's go back to the first question, what are ghosts? Ghosts are really divine spirits that when they stepped out of the physical body, it was their time, all right? They stepped out, something trapped them, stopped them from making the journey over to the other side. Heaven, nirvana, whatever you, paradise, whatever you want to call the other side, the other realm, all right, where the source is. What was it? On the second question number 2, how do they get trapped? It could be many different things. I mean, that is one reason why it's always so interesting. I never get bored with the work. That's what the book is about. It's more of a psychological study of the ghost, all right? The thing is, they could be an obsession over, hold on, I lost my card, guys, hold it up. Oh my God, I knew you were yawning, so I said, well, I lost my card. Oh my God, the suspense builds, will we find it?
Out of order.
I think it'll be in here somewhere, and I will persevere. Anyway, they could, he's left his wife, she's not in the best of health, he had a heart attack, I've got to look after her, I've got to look after her, I've got to be around, stay around. Well, that will trap him in the ghost realm trying to look after her because he doesn't realize that maybe there are others trying to look after her also. Whatever, he doesn't realize it because of the confusion. When he goes to the other side, he has so much unlimited power at his disposal to really, truly look after her. Ghosts are kind of limited, all right? The thing is also revenge. Say somebody did you wrong, my gosh, you carry it through life. You know, my brother-in-law, he did me out of the will, you know, he got through the will, did me out of my parents' money. And you stayed bitter about this throughout the years. I guarantee, if you don't resolve this, it could very well be the issue that traps you. You say the revenge, I want to get him back, and you're still in that mode and so on. You're not going to be able to get him back. All you're doing is hurting yourself, all right? The thing is also, unfinished business. Okay, go back to the obsession. An example of an obsession that can hold somebody is, I was working, doing a clearing. In fact, it's in the book, but I was doing a clearing at the mansion. I wasn't really clearing. I mean, you know, she wanted to keep the ghosts, they wanted to stay. But, boy, I know really, not all the ghosts got cleared, guys, okay? Truly. It's up to them, it's free will, they want to go or not. They do not have a choice, though, of being moving to another locale. The thing they do have a choice on is if they're going to clear, move on. But you've got the power in the physical realm, they're in your realm, they've got to leave whatever the physical domain is that they're inhabiting, disrupting, whatever. All right? The thing is, in the mansion I was working in, Miss Anna, the main ghost there, she, during life, okay, she had a very poor, poverty-ridden life when she was a child and growing up. Well, she married a doctor. This is back in the early 1900s, you know. Married a doctor, had it good, going along fine, money and everything. All of a sudden, her husband died of stomach cancer. Uh-oh, there went the fortune, the way of making the money. Now, she'd been giving elaborate parties and so on. What represented her self-worth to her and what she thought to society was the mansion that her husband had placed her in. So when she died, do you think she was going to trust the other side for happiness, fulfillment, a sense of worth, self-worth? No. It's my mansion, my house. I'm not going to give it up. She's still there. The thing is, she can move on anytime she wants. Now she's helping Jenny, my friend. That's her reason. Now I want to help, you know, she's helping Jenny. But the point is, any obsession like that can hold somebody. It's really like psychological. All right? The thing is also, though, is trying to comfort a grieving loved one. I've seen animals do this. When I'm working doing mediumship with animals, with animal communication, a lot of animals will trap themselves to try and comfort their beloved human, trying to help them get past the hump. They know that the human is just falling into this deep depression. I've known spirits, I hate to call them ghosts, they are ghosts when they trap themselves and they're trying to comfort somebody instead of moving on, because what they don't realize is that on the other side they have unlimited power, energy. They can come back and forth and they can bring angelic energy with them. If the person is the spirit state of a ghost trying to comfort somebody, they're going to be very limited in that. All they're going to be doing is crying together, just in different runs, you say. So the thing is, ghosts and like spirits, one of the common questions I get though is, well, boo, what is the difference in a spirit that has moved on and a spirit that has stayed stuck, a ghost? All right, they're the same, divine spirits. Understand that. I just differentiate the spirit has moved on, or the ghost is a spirit that got stuck in the ghost realm. All right? So they're saying, how can you tell the difference? What is the difference? Well, it's really an energetic thing. It's also how the ghost feels versus how a spirit feels. When I have spirits come from the other side during a reading, there's a lightness about them, a lightness of being. no matter what they went from or whatever, there's a lightness around their spirit. They've touched the divine, they've touched the other side, the high energy, and the highest energy, you say, they brought it with them. They don't really have confusion that much. They're getting healing answers. With the spirit that's trapped in the ghost realm, the ghost, I don't care how cognizant, how with it they appear, whatever, there's always going to be a bit of confusion around them, a bit of sadness, a bit of heaviness around them. They're in a heavier realm than the other side. All right? So that's how really you can tell the difference, how I tell the difference between these spirits when I'm working with them. Energy issues of ghosts. This is, people don't understand this, but ghosts have energy issues, all right? Now, the reason being is that ghosts don't have their own energy. When we're in the, when you're in the human body, when the spirit is in the physical body, you have energy manufacturing mechanisms, machines and so on, your biochemical processes, atoms, molecules and so on, recharging, creating energy and so on, all right, or manufacturing it, all right? The spirits that move on to the other side, unlimited energy. They're there with the source of it all, with the cosmos. I mean, it's like, and when the spirit comes out of that realm, they do kind of have energy issues, but they're bringing it with them if they can, all right? Ghost, the ghost realm, trust me, it's like a gray, cold void. There is no energy there. The ghosts are existing at a very low energetic frequency level. If they want to be active, they've got to take energy from other sources. They'll take it from anything inorganic, meaning electronics, cameras, computers. We tell people on the tour, don't keep ghosts in your house. Trust me, they don't do it to be mean most of the time, but they'll blow your hard drives on your computer, they will drain your electrical equipment. We have it happen on the tour. My flashlight goes dead. When the batteries, when I turn it on, those batteries are discharging that charge, they're attracted to it and they're just zapping it and interrupt it. Cameras go dead. They'll also take energy from anything organic, meaning living, all right? Animals, plants, trees, water, anything organic. They'll take it from you, all right? Rocks. We tell people, once again, don't keep ghosts in the house. If you're waking up tired sometimes, you could have a spirit, a ghost, that's hanging around, walking over to your bed at night and just zapping you for energy. They need the energy. They'll get it from somewhere. They're not doing it to be mean, but they want that energy. And you are a source of energy. All right? The thing is, when I'm working with ghosts, that's one thing to remember that I always try to remember is that all right, where you're at, I tell people, okay, people ask about the Ouija board. You guys have heard about a Ouija board, I'm sure. Okay, you know, I do know they work. People go, how do they work? Because what my guides have told me is back when they were made during the spiritualist movement, like early 1900s and so on, there was a formula programmed in to the letters. It will open portals, all right? But I tell people, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't need to be working with a Ouija board. If you know what you're doing, you don't need it. Because I don't want answers from some Ouija board, because what it does, it runs through lower entities. They want to be entertained. They may be not doing it to be mean, but they want to be entertained, and they will get your trust with correct answers, and they start playing with you. They do work, you know. So I tell people there's really nothing to be afraid of working with the metaphysical, but you do need to know what you're doing. You need to have an understanding of it, of the ghosts, of the different beings. There's thousands of realms out there. It's so exciting, folks. You don't have time to go into all of that, all these things. But, it's definitely not a 3 to 4 dimensional world. It's very exciting. But anyway, the thing is, the ghosts, an interesting thing is, ghosts, there are ghosts that don't know they're dead. Right? Some ghosts do know they died, some ghosts don't. Now, the ghosts that don't know they're dead, they don't even know enough to go get energy. it's kind of hard to work with them a lot of times, to photograph them or whatever, because they don't really have much energy. They're existing at a very low frequency, okay? And they are some of the hardest to work with because, get this, ghosts, they always have angels, loved ones, relatives, somebody's coming from the other side trying to rescue them. Well, now what happens with the ghosts who don't know they're dead? They've got Aunt Mabel coming to rescue them, trying to help them coax them to come across, cross over, move on. Well, to that person, remember, like, they knew Aunt Mabel died. I've had cases where literally the ghost thinks they're being haunted by a ghost. Ah! There's Aunt Mabel! She saw it there! Get away! And they'll literally be screaming, one goes to the other, get away! Because they think they're still in the physical. It happened to, one case I was called in on it, a clearing, someone called me in, and it was, let's see, the family, 2 sons, the mother, it was a young mother, she called me in because her 2-year-old son, for 2 weeks, had started waking up about 2 or 3 o'clock at night, screaming. All right, just screaming, waking up just, they'd run into the bedroom, the child hadn't started talking yet, he couldn't tell him what he was saying. So the mother called me in. And when I got there, I went through the rooms and there were other ghosts, but the main ghost that was there was in the little boy's, the 2-year-old's bedroom by the closet. I don't know what it is about ghosts in closet. I don't know. And he was hiding there by the closet. He didn't know he was dead. He was standing there. I had to first start off contacting them through my guides and angels. They were getting the story. I was tapping into them telepathically. Let me back up. 2 ways you can communicate with spirits. Number 1 is telepathically, number 2 is verbally. They will hear you either way. People do not understand, but they do not realize that their loved ones on the other side, they can hear you. They hear your thoughts. They hear you verbally. You send them love, you pray for them, whatever, they hear you. They're not doing it to eavesdrop. I can promise you that. They got a very important business, but they will check in to make sure everything is okay with you, that you're feeling loved, that you're protected, and so on. All right? The thing is, so I had to go kind of a little above this ghost. It was a young man, all right, dark hair, and first off, I had to convince him that he was dead. He knew I was there, but he thought he was communicating with me, human to human. Now, he'd already had relatives. His grandfather had come through trying to, move him on. You're dead, this kind of thing, resisting. Well, it turned out that he had been, okay, let me back up. First, I had to convince him that he had died. I kept hammering away, look, you're dead. I'm alive. I know, isn't that brutal? You're dead. You're dead. Come on. No, I didn't handle it. Look at Sarah, she's horrified. I didn't handle it like that. Oh my gosh, how heartless. No, when I'm working with ghosts and other spirits and everything, I tend to be a little bit higher than Boo normally is, okay? I'm a little bit, probably with a lot of humans. But I do have a fondness for them, the ghosts and stuff. But anyway, the thing is, I had to convince him that he had died. Okay. Finally, it hit him. Because I said, feel the difference in the energy. Look over here. Did you not see the angels? You're not going to probably see them if you're alive. I mean, there are differences. And when he started feeling the difference in my heavier energy and his a little bit lighter energy, and they are on a little bit higher level, he broke down crying. I mean, just fell apart. Well, what happened is, I got the story from him, got the story from his angels. My guides and angels were working with me. He had been in an accident 2 weeks ago. He was out in Gray, Georgia, 2-lane road. He and his young wife and his little boy were in this terrible accident, head-on collision. I had the little 2-year-old that I was working with, his mother. I turned to her and I asked her about this. I said, he's saying that there was a bad accident 2 weeks ago and he was killed. She said, my God, she said, I had to go by that. I had almost stopped. And what had happened is, this desperate, confused father, when he'd been killed like that, he stepped out of his body. He's looking for his little boy. Well, there he is. And he got in the car with my client and her little boy. So what he was trying to do He'd wait till the house got quiet, then he'd walk over to his son's bed, try to wake him up so they could go home. The little boy was waking up and seeing this strange man, and he was screaming, okay? I had to convince the ghost, you're dead, you passed on, this is not your boy, how would you feel if somebody tried to take your son away? Then he asked me, and I'm trying to get him to move on, the light had opened up, you know, and I'm trying to get him to cross over to find some peace, and he asked me, he said, what happened to my little boy and my wife? Are they okay? And I said, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I said, the only place you're going to get the answers, though, is to cross. I said, you'll have the answers, the peace, everything will be explained to you on the other side. You need to cross now, and then you'll find out what happened to him. Sure enough, bam, he went. It's really when you're working with ghosts, it's a matter of finding that button, that issue, and then helping them resolve it, or at least know where to go to get the understanding, the peace, the joy that awaits. Yeah. I don't mind if you guys ask questions while I'm talking.
I'm curious, I mean, he still had his intelligence. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no, that's okay, that's okay.
But what was his, why wouldn't he recognize that it was not his son? I could see how he would want to be with a young child.
Because he was so deluded. He was so deluded, he was like in this fantasy world, and the boy happened to be, his child was like one or two, just a toddler like this one, because there were two sons, but he didn't go to the older boy, he went to this one because it was a resemblance. See, between the mother, this boy, this child, there was a resemblance in his family, same dynamic, same everything. And so he found his family again, let's go home. And for 2 weeks he'd been trying to wake the boy up and take him home. And after that, the mother called me and she said, Boo has extreme sense. But, you know, that's just, the young father had gone home. And one thing I will never lie to ghosts to get him to move on. I mean, I'm very honest with them. I'm not brutal. It's like when I'm doing readings, I try not to be brutal, but I will be very honest with them. I'm very ethical about it. They need to know the truth. Yeah.
Can you ask ghosts to leave on their own if you
You mean, can I ask him to?
I mean, can anyone just ask the ghost?
Oh, that's a good point. Yes,
Or
yes, yes,
if
yes,
you-
yes. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Clearings, anybody can do them. Really, it comes down to the.
And they'll leave, you just have to ask them?
Well, you know, it really, when doing a clearing, you really don't need a medium unless every now and then you might really get a recalcitrant, stubborn, nasty ghost, whatever, that's really stuck, really fighting you, whatever, then you may want to call in somebody. Most of the time, it's a matter of intent, focus, being fearless. Because if the ghost gets up fear, when I'm doing an investigation, I rarely take, I just won't take just anybody with me, because if they're scared or whatever, the ghost will use their energy against me. Because what happens is when humans get frightened, they go into fight or flight. They're shooting energy out. The ghost is grabbing them, it's making them more powerful, stronger, and so on. So also, it kind of messes up the attitude that I try to stay in when I'm working with ghosts. I'm not in a fear-based attitude. But back to your question about can anybody do it? Yes, it's about intent, fearless. An example, a client, I was doing a reading and her house wasn't selling. She had a nasty divorce. She was trying to sell the house to get out of that energy and so on. The house wouldn't sell. Gorgeous house up somewhere in Alpharetta, whatever. Anyway, she said, oh, something's going on. So I checked in. I said, you've got the ghost of your mother-in-law there. She said, I swear I knew there was an old lady there. I said, yes. She said, oh my gosh, that woman, I don't want her around me. I said, well, she didn't like you, but now she's changed her tune. She wants you to get back with her son because she knows you looked after the jerk. She did. My client was a typical Southern, oh, let me look after my boys, let me look after my husband. No, this kind of thing. Well, the mother-in-law still wanted her looking after her son, even though he was kind of a nasty individual. So she's haunting the house, trying to break up any sale, trying to get them back together, even though she never liked her daughter-in-law in life. I said, go home and tell her to leave. I said, I don't care what you have to do. Light a candle, whatever, floats your boat, It's okay, anything works. You could go around with a pen, I said, tell the ghost, tell her she's got to leave. So my client, Diane, she said, oh, she called me. She called me a little later. She said, she's gone. Check and see if she's gone. I said, I checked through the house. Yeah, felt very clear. I said, she's gone. I said, what'd you do? I still get tickled. She said, I got me a white candle, and I went through the house, room to room. You're my slave! She said, I said, you screamed? I said, I went through screaming at her. I think she literally scared the ghost. But that ghost, she never reappeared. I don't know where she went, but she never came back to the house. Literally, and that's how easy it is. It's mainly about mindset, focus, and so on. If you messages, they're going to stay.
I have a question about animals. Like if an animal has a lot of anger, is it possible that the animal has been attached to by other spirits? Like if a person's very angry, like if they are in very negative vibrations, consistently they can attract negative spirits, right?
Oh, definitely.
So can the same thing happen to an animal? So you would have to clear the animal of spirits that are attached to it.
Not really. Well, I'm listening here, and I just feel my guides. I'm so lucky. They just, the thing is, what happens is, whatever's going on attaches to the animal, but really, animals don't have issues. They're very sentient beings, okay? But they don't have issues like humans do. They're all spirits. It's all the same divine energy, all right? They're all spirits. Some come in different forms. When the spirit comes in the human form, that's the form that it comes in to learn lessons. When a spirit comes in an animal form, they really don't have deep-seated, real, true issues. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute, or if I don't, if I forget, hold me to it. All right? The thing is, they're coming in to help their friend that they have an agreement with on the other side that's coming in the human form to learn, to heal, to help them with their divine mission, learn lessons, and so on. Kind of like a support system, all right? The thing is, and people feel guilty when I'm working, oh my God, I say, and I do not tell this to, I don't tell this to clients, but Lord knows, people have enough guilt they put on themselves. But a lot of times when somebody's animal has cancer, myocardial infarction, enlarged heart, and so on, they're taking it from the human to protect the human, so the human can live longer and achieve their divine mission, hopefully give them time to learn the lessons that they're supposed to learn before they pass on. The animal, the spirit that comes in the animal form is very willing to do that. It doesn't mean that we mistreat them. That's karma right there. That's part of the lesson there. You don't mistreat them just because you can. But a lot of times when an animal takes on something, yes, you can clear the animal, but a lot of it is coming from, they're taking it off the person, from the environment. But most of the time, I usually find it's coming from the person. There's some issue. Animal communication readings, at least from my point, from what I've done, I'm turning to issues that the person has had. And yes, the person can be drawing things. You can have the sweetest lady. My gosh, she's so sweet. She bakes cakes at the drop of a hat for the yards, for the church, whatever. Call her. She'll take you to the airport, drop everything, all right? Doing everything for everybody. Well, guess who's going to pay? Possibly her animals, okay? Because underneath, she's got a lot of frustration and resentment and so on. Well, the animal will try to take that on. They might be acting out, misbehaving and everything, trying to, number one, bring attention to the issues that this human, the lessons that this human is refusing to learn. Number two, they're trying to give their person time to learn it. Because we self-destruct. My guys tell me, most of the time, unless somebody's a great teacher with health problems and they're using the health problems to teach, you see somebody with a lot of health problems, one after the other, go back to the psyche, to the mental, emotional, spiritual, and you'll find that they're self-destructing. Nobody goes through nothing. I don't mean to be macabre or whatever, but that's just how it is. Did that answer the question, though?
Yeah, I think so.
You can clear the animal and help them. Now, you can clear the animal, kind of take off stuff. It's like working in stages with the person or whatever. Clear the animal, help them, fortify their energy by doing energy work and so on. you know, they can attract things, but the animals see spirits.
Yeah.
They know what's around them. We've had them come on the tour. They start growling at something. I know there's something not quite. It goes maybe a little on the mean side, you know, nasty issues, whatever. They wag their tail at the empty air. I know we've got probably a friendly spirit there. You know, they're like animals. Yes, but let me find my cards again. Hold on. I get excited and threw them down. Let's see. I'm not even on my cards. Oh well. Yes. Hold on, guys. Let's see. All right. Does everybody understand though? Did that answer your thing about the clearings? Anybody can do them. It really comes down to intent and no fear. You've got to be firm in your intent. When I'm working with ghosts, I'm very compassionate. I mean, I'm compassionate. I try to be as non-judgmental as I can, but I am firm when I'm working with them. Because sometimes they get stubborn, they get, you know, like we humans, they just won't face an issue or whatever. You've got to be firm with them and fearless. But what I found is you usually get what you put out. It comes back on you. I've been on investigation. That's one reason why I won't do, I really am very careful. I have, you know, investigation groups. They want me to come with them and be the medium and, you know, work with their team, you know, and so on. And I'm very careful who I work with because there's a lot of ego. And I'm not judging. I mean, everybody's learning their lessons and however they learn them. But I don't necessarily want to be around that because, number one, if you're in the ego, it's going to lower your vibration, all right? If you're doing readings, any psychic work, it pays to have your vibrations as high as you can have them because you're going to be able to connect with higher beings. The higher beings, the higher you can go, the truer the information. Simple as that. And a lot of people kind of want to get antagonistic with the ghost, and it's really, I found it's really coming from fear. You're trying to be, you know, have that bravado going, yeah. Well, underneath there's a lot of fear. Trust me, the ghost will see through the bravado and will respond in kind, be irritating, antagonistic, you know, and so on, and you've missed a chance to really work with them. I like to work with the spirit from a higher place, the spirits. I like to be respectful. They're just like me. They're divine spirit. I try to use the golden rule when I'm working with them. I also like to have fun though. Now, there are some ghosts that really like to have fun. And they'll say things about the people that I'm doing clearings about that I cannot tell the person.
Yeah, that's true.
I was doing a clearing, and this female ghost was hanging out, and this young man, I was doing a clearing. We picked her up somewhere, I don't know, a bar, I don't know where. Anyway, she was haunting him, and one of the things she said about him, though, she said, I would never say this to him, but she said, he has got terrible gas. To change it. She said, it is so bad. I mean, she was in his bedroom. She said, he's got, and I'm like, okay, I cannot tell that to this man, what am I going to tell him? And also, another clearing I was doing, this young woman, she'd been driving on the interstate and somehow picked up 4 teenage ghosts, all right? They were running through her apartment, literally. She could almost see them and see the curtains move and everything. She'd be taking a shower. She'd feel somebody was in there with her. You know what one of these 16, 17-year-olds told me? He said, "Ooh, she's got some big bazoons." And I'm like, I cannot tell her you said that. I'm like a teenage ghost, hormones revved up. I don't give it's in the ghost realm or whatever. And she said, I feel like there's somebody watching me. I said, there it is. We need to get rid of them. So you can have fun. I mean, they were harmless, kind of more nuisances than anything. But one thing about when I'm working with ghosts, and I try to stay out of having to try to prove anything. There again, you've got to watch the ego. A lot of investigation, everybody wants to, prove how smart they are, or how psychic or whatever. That's not what it's really about. It's wherever you are on an energetic, on a spiritual level. That is your best protection. You can use all the rocks, Sage, anything you want. Your best protection in doing clearings, investigation, is where you are spiritually, how high you are. Do you have fears? I would never go anywhere without my guides and angels. But I am relatively fearless because I have, I have pretty much total faith that I'm looked after. You don't want to go into it scared of these beings. There's really, most of the mean ones, in fact, from my experiences, I found that if you can get past the obvious is where the illusions are. If you can get past the obvious meanness, all right, you kind of get behind the spirit, see behind it. It's really a facade a lot of times, the meanness. It's a mask they're wearing to protect themselves, keep you at a distance, the world. They maybe did it when they were alive. If you can get behind there and treat them with firmness, compassion, non-judgmental, my gosh. I mean, I've worked with murderers, ghosts, and so on. You can get past that, and I'm not judging them because I realize it's all about lessons. When people were in the physical, lessons, contracts being taught, learned, and so on between spirits. It's not up to me to judge, okay? The ghost is much more open, the spirit is much more open because they sense respect from me. I'm trying to be as non-judgmental, as unconditionally loving as possible. Right there, that almost guarantees success, protection, anything you want when working with these realms. You know, anybody have any questions so far? Hold on, yes, let me check Walt over here. Yes, Walt, I gotta get close, Walt. Yes, I'm gonna stopped up too tonight.
Do you see any ghosts here?
Well, I might have closed down.
Can you give us names?
I'll tell you why. People ask me that on the tour. That's a good question. People will ask me that on the tour. And now, every now and then I will have somebody's grandmother pop in. They're from the other side. I mean, you know, they're not ghosts. Well, I see ghosts on the tour if I want to, but when I'm on the tour, I'm not in full mediumship mode. I can kind of sense it like everybody else, but I've got to stay focused. And that brings up to how mediumship works. I'll explain it. But the thing is, I've got to stay grounded because I'm working with the safety of the tour, the dialogue and everything. When a medium is in full mode, I'm ungrounded. All right? My energy is going out. I'm kind of anchored here, but I'm really out here, going up to different levels because how it works, communication works, really not hard. It's all about energy, vibrational levels. There are different vibrational levels to the different realms and so on, all right? The ghost realm is a little bit above the human realm. The other side is way above. But I've got to get my vibrations up, meaning I have to unground to a certain extent, come out of this heavy physical body, get my vibrations up, the frequencies up, and they'll bring theirs down, and we match, hopefully. It's like radio waves, TV waves, anything like that. If you've got the frequencies of channels matching, you've got clear reception, clear visual, audio, and so on. If I'm not, then, you know, it's hard to make the connection. But I can't do that if I'm speaking right before a group or giving the tour, anything like that, because my vibrations are more involved with the now, with the physical, presenting the material and so on, and being focused on the group, if that makes sense. I'm sure we've got some here, you know. I'm sure as many people here, somebody's picked up somebody. You probably got a lady around you. Has there been a lady around you all? A good
Several,
lady, I don't know, maybe.
You're supposed to answer my question.
Yeah. But that's how mediumship works. It's getting your vibrations up. So on the tour, I'm not seeing them. I can turn it on and off, but I'm not really seeing them, okay, because I've got to stay focused on the safety of the group, on how the people are responding, on the dialogue, and so on. You know, it's interesting. People also, I don't know how many people will tell this. It's okay with me. I mean, it's not a big deal to me. But the psychic abilities, the divine abilities, correspond to the physical abilities. They work exactly like that. All right. You know your physical eyes. Okay. You see it, but you see it inside in your brain, and it gets turned, and then you project the vision out, the visual. It's the exact same thing when you're doing clairvoyance. People don't realize this. I can see ghosts out, but most of the time you'll see them in here with the third eye. All you do is project it out. I mean, I see them both ways, but it's mainly here. This is why if you're wanting to work on your abilities, you would develop the third, sixth chakra, the third eye. Does that make sense? I mean, that may be confusing, and people are like, oh, God, you're saying, no. You shut your eyes, I guarantee, if you kind of get your vibrations up and everything, you can see them in here. We all have the ability. What was your question? I'm sorry.
I was going to ask you, what's the difference between entities?
Between what now?
Entities.
I'm glad you asked me to clarify. They're the same. How about that for clarification? But no, let me go a little more on it though. Entities is kind of a broad term. It can cover, I hate to use the word, demon, fragments from the past lives, spirits that are hanging on, any kind of entity. You can even really call an alien an entity and stuff. Whereas ghosts are an entity, but there are different names. And does that make sense? Entity is like a broad. That's how I use it. It's like a broad term for me.
When you look at someone from the third eye, can you see that they're fragmented from their body? Like soul fragments that have left?
I can. I pick up more of a disconnect. I guess I call it disconnect, where they're not really grounded and stuff. And I don't really have to do that because it just comes so
Intuitive.
like I can say I get past lives rather easily too. They just come in. Now, my guides and angels, they understand I'm not going to do past lives unless they're pertinent. I don't play the past life game. But I'll get a visual. It'll come very quickly. Somebody's issue, like I had one of my clients, she was a singer, and she was having trouble, and she was being distracted by her boyfriend, and she's a beautiful voice, great talent and everything. But I quickly got a flash. I said, you better watch out, because what happened in a lifetime in the 1800s, and I'm getting a visual, all right? 1800s London, you're on the stage. A wealthy man took you under his wing. Your mistress sidetracks you. Degradation. I mean, it was like I could see the past life how it played out. I said it's being set up again, so you can walk through this lesson. Hopefully, this time successfully. You're in a terrible relationship. It's up to you if you want to get out of it or not. But if you stay in it, it's probably going to destroy you and destroy your career. I mean, because he was the man, her boyfriend was a drug addict. But did you have a question, Sarah? She was replaying it. Her spirit was replaying it to try and move past that, the karma with that other spirit, that situation, believing in herself, all these issues that she hadn't faced when she was alive in that past life. So people do fragment, but honestly, my guides and angels have always told me, keep it simple. The divine's world is very simple. People, now Reiki's appropriate, everything is appropriate to a certain extent. We all need stepping stones to get where we're going. That's okay. But I tell people, if you start to make things too complicated, they get too, you're getting too stressed, too uptight, oh my God, this kind of thing. You're overworking it. It's very simple, folks. Truly. The simpler you can keep it, the more effective you're going to be. I'm kind of lazy. I think I kind of fell into that. Because I don't like a lot of work. That's one reason this book took so long. I'm a procrastinator and I can be lazy. But I owed it to the ghost to get this book out. Right? I fell into that. Hey, keep it simple. Yes.
How does portals affect the beings that are in your space? And does that make them
How does
easier?
portals, you mean?
How does it affect? Does it keep them in the space more to get rid
You mean
of them?
portals, mean, or?
Yeah.
They're
keeping
okay.
entities in the space
What
easily.
portals are? Portals will open up. They're doorways between the realms. Okay, everybody understand that? That's what a portal or portals are. Okay, portals will exist at, and you can close portals, by the way. You can close them. All right, they exist at areas of energy. They open up. They exist. It's like building a highway where there's a good, level ground, whatever. Okay, but a portal is there maybe around a lot of water. Maybe it opened up because of past occurrences from 100 years ago. That portal, was being used. You can close them though. That's what I've never even really thought about. My guy just said then you can close them. It's a little like tapping them. Like if you're, I don't know how many of you do like working with chords and everything. Okay, all you have to do is figure out the size of the portal. I mean, they're, like this. It doesn't matter. And literally, psychically, energetically, start packing it with concrete. Start redirecting it, moving it. Just start packing it like this, closing it off, blessing it. You say, because sometimes people have portals in their house, and they keep having ghosts come through, spirits, other things come through.
Can it keep open though by another person's
The what now?
energy? Is it get kept open because of another person in that same house, like keeping?
Oh, you mean like your energy kind of opened up?
Yeah, is that possible, or is it just?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No, that portal was already there. Maybe it was not well used. Thank you. They're telling me even now, what happened is the energy of that other person, maybe around that portal, kind of helped to send out the word, hey, we got a road here, we got a doorway. Whereas it probably hadn't been used that much before, okay? Nobody was, the other side, ghosts weren't or whatever, they were using something else. And that energy resonated with something on the other side. Oh, yeah. And they started using that portal, you see. From what I understand, energy, portals have to do really with, ley lines, earth energy, rocks. I mean, anything that's got piezoelectric energy can open a portal or can facilitate coming through. Ghosts don't need a portal though. They just step from one realm to the other.
Certain specific things sometimes use them. I don't know exactly what kind.
What now?
I don't know exactly what kind of entity or ghost it is, but I just thought if someone keeps closing it, keeps opening, why does that keep happening? If it's someone else in that environment that allows it to be open subconsciously, they don't realize it.
That's the thing with addicts, okay? Psychologists, psychiatrists, different, therapists, whatever, would kind of work from some of this, kind of open up a little bit to the alternative. Because usually around a lot of addicts, sex addicts, alcohol, you name it, they've got entities, ghosts, whatever, that hang on them because they want that alcoholic high so they can influence that human. People say, oh God, can they possess you? I say, no, not unless you've got a chink in the armor. They can't. It's free will. It's about free will. If you don't want something, it's free will. What?
Half the room thought you were talking about the upstairs attic.
Yeah, what now? Say what? I'm sorry. What now?
Half the room thought you were talking about the upstairs
Yep,
attic.
me too. The attic.
Oh.
The attic.
I
thought you should be talking about the attic.
The attic. Oh, is there an attic in this building? I didn't know there was an attic.
Hey, come on, basement.
I actually. Well, go shoot. I can hang out in the attic too.
Yeah.
No, attic. Thank you for clarifying out on that one. But the point is, people are scared for nothing. Nothing can possess you unless you've got a chink in the armor. There's an issue there. You're giving tacit agreement, whatever. They can't stay in your house. If you want them gone, they've got to be gone. And a lot of people feel special they've got to go, but they're scared, but whatever. You say, yeah, they go, I got to go, I don't keep the ghost, let them move on, they're not pets. People treat them like a pet sometimes.
So how do you, even if you close the portal and it keeps getting open?
How do what now?
Like, if you close the portal, like you said, it's can be done, right? I get that.
Is there a portal around your house? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm getting this more like who's around you, human-wise. I'm getting more, I don't get a portal around you.
It's a person that
so
I
much
thought
like
was
it's
responsible
the
for
human
opening.
energy around you. that's drawing them right there.
I
Because
know.
Like,
I know
or,
it's
like wherever your vibrations are, if it matches, it's like if the key doesn't fit the lock, then they can't latch on. That's why if I'm doing an investigation or a clearing, I'm very careful about letting any personal crap come through. If I'm in a bad relationship, well, I'm not right now. But I'm just saying, if I'm having trouble with somebody, I try to get out of that when I'm doing readings. They'll never know anything personal is going on with food because I pull myself out of that. There are no chinks in my armor, if that makes sense. The chinks are there, then you're open to it. You can be influenced. Did you have a question, Hoyt?
I was thinking of something else.
Besides, is there something else you want to clarify for me, buddy?
Okay, like my parents, I think both of them had some kind of spirit connection before they met each other. Part of the reason why they might have been attracted to each other. Almost something generational. How is that?
Oh, you mean your parents? What about, you mean generational? What now?
I think that there were ghosts or spirits that were in their families that kind of came together, brought them together, they're attracted to each other.
What do you mean, like,
I don't really know.
So why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Both of them are very sensitive to things and are kind of.
you're saying that they're attracting them because of their abilities, or what?
I don't know. Like, it seems that there is some kind of spirit that's connected with both of them. And then they kind of came together almost into this sort of interesting little union. So I'm trying to sort through the whole thing, probably have for a very long time, figuring out what it's all about. But is that anything you've ever seen before?
Are you thinking that maybe there's a spiritual group that talks about the ancestors of the two individuals will actually try to get them to meet so that they'll get married?
I don't know if it's a positive thing, actually. I think it's something else.
Are you talking about the ancestors coming through, I mean, or what?
No, not their ancestors. Like, one of them feels like it's from the deep south in not so positive way, and something from
They're
Asia.
not ghosts, though.
is
A
not
lot
very
of, most of
positive
the
way.
time, I don't know if I understand the question exactly, but most of the time when people have others coming through, loved ones and so on, they're not ghosts. They can, once that spirit moves on to the other side, they can travel wherever they want. Energy can bilocate, like this, separate and come back together. There's no physical boundary that holds it. That's why somebody could see a vision of one of the saints on one, and then somebody else over here sees the saints, or somebody sees somebody's brother dying, 2 or 3 different places they come. Well, they can. But the thing is, I'm getting these most of the time when people see their loved ones and stuff. They're just coming to visit. They're not ghosts. I mean, I don't know if that answers your question, but
I'm kind of looking at something else.
I
Actually.
think what he's saying is like the two parents are together because something out here wanted them to influence them to do that. Is that what you're saying?
I think that my mom's family
I'm
was
holding
mixed
another
up
discussion going on here.
with some kind of haunting from the south. I don't know what it was.
Ask me afterwards, boy.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, I'm
Back
don't
on
wanna say,
track.
Ask me afterwards, yeah.
Maybe a thought body or something.
What order?
A thought body. I mean, that's one of those things that cause things, but it's not a person anymore.
Yeah.
It's just an energy thing that's stuck in this space. I don't know. I don't know the whole story.
Oh, either.
We'll discuss it afterwards, Hoyt. Just,
Okay.
you know, yeah. Let me, I don't know, what time is it, guys? I don't want to be too late. I was supposed to be getting, okay. All right. Let me locate where I am. Let's see,
You're at 8:46, you got to 9:30, you're good.
You do understand about keeping yourself very clear if you're working. It's like doing a pendulum or anything, though. You've got to be in a very clear, neutral state. Like you can use different, when I'm working, to get prepared a lot of times before reading, I'll take the intent of it. I'll do my prayer and some of my grounding prayer, but I use different visualizations to drop myself into neutral. You know, like, and I can tell one good exercise to use, I mean, I call it the yes, neutral, no exercise. I'll do it for, give it to my students and stuff to practice on this, to drop into neutral. You'll ask a question, a yes question. Well, you want to see how it feels. Okay, say you're walking down the street one day, you see a paper on the road, you pick it up, you hold it, and by God, it's a winning lottery ticket. Where do you feel that? I feel it like here in expansion. Okay, that would be how you would feel with a yes question when something is a yes. Is this the right car? Get a feeling in the pit of your, no. All right, neutral would be like, one thing I use for myself to practice with, I'd say, well, what do the Falcons have for breakfast? I really could give a flying, you know what they ate for breakfast. I'm sure it was a lot more than I ate. It might have been better. I don't know, but I do not care. So where does that drop me? It drops me down here in neutral. All right, your solar plexus is almost like a neutral because when you're in neutral, you're in a very non-judgmental state. All right, boom, I can feel it there. For no, I would practice no, and this is differentiating. Okay, say you're behind a car on a mountain road, they pass you just flying. You know there's a curve coming up. Oh my gosh, I hope they make it. You get to that curve just in time to see them go over, off down the mountainside. Where do you feel it? Now I feel that in the pit of my stomach. It's like a feeling of dread and so on. That would be no for me. I'd be kind of negative, no, don't do it, you know, that kind of thing. I mainly use it so I know where neutral is, but it's a very easy, quick way to get yes, no, is this the right veterinarian? No, you get the feeling, don't even ask. My guys tell me, don't ask why, how, go with it. You don't need to know the reasons at that moment, just trust and go with it, all right? So that's a very good exercise for people.
Yes, repeat how you said you got to neutral?
Say what now?
Do you repeat how you
Oh
said
yeah,
you
that's
got to
fine.
neutral?
Yeah, that's fine.
She
Yeah.
doesn't care what the
Kind of I'll move along, you know.
That just makes you.
No, right, no, that's okay, that's okay. I use this really to establish what neutral is for me, because I've got to be neutral when I'm doing readings. Nobody wants my issues, they don't want my personal opinion, okay, when I'm doing readings, because I'm going to be coming from whose issues. They're not going to pay me for that. So I've got to make sure that I'm as neutral, as non-judgmental as I can be when I'm doing a reading. Therefore, I'm open to this other information. All right, I'm just channeling, that's it, just relaying it, no judgment. So what I do is I practice with yes, no, neutral, especially neutral. First establish where neutral is. You know, gosh, I wonder if the train going to Washington, D.C. was late today. Who cares? I feel it here, it's like a blob. Okay, that's how I feel it, neutral. People will feel it in different parts of their body. They'll feel a different emotion, whatever. It's just like a blob, like very colorless, bland. All right. The no, I would give something maybe kind of tragic. You know, gosh, oh man, she just got word her brother was killed in the war. I feel it in there. That's down to the pit of my stomach. It's like somebody just soccer punched, boom, right in your gut. That's where I feel it. It's like a dread, a feeling, a heaviness. You see, that's no. With yes, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, my sister just had a baby. She just had a beautiful boy. I feel expansion. With no, I feel myself kind of pull in, close down. It's just it's a very simple, quick way to make decisions. Is this the right attorney for me? Yeah, if you get that expanded, yeah, he's going to be good. You don't really want to ask why or how, you go with it. Because when you start to put the doubt and everything in there, start to second guess yourself, down go the vibrations, and you're not in that receptive mode to hear messages, to use your intuition and so on. You see? So that's just a trick I use. Other people have other tricks. I mean, I'll visualize a subway, okay, a subway system, and I'm maybe a worker on the train, you know, working on the tracks. Well, when it's time to do a reading, I will visualize myself going into one of the alcoves, okay, and letting the train go by, meaning my guides, the information, the angels, whoever's coming through, bring the information. I just step into an alcove and do is no more, if that makes sense. I just use different visualizations to get into that neutral zone, because that is the most important. Two things: you've got to be neutral, and you've got to be non-judgmental when you do any of this work. You know, If you're in judgment mode, you're the ego and your vibrations are low. It's all about frequencies anyway, you know, energetic vibrations. If they match or not, if they're low, wherever your vibrations are, whatever you're going to connect with. Addicts' vibrations are very low, who are they going to connect with? Does that make sense? And a lot of PTSD, very interesting. I mean, I've got psychologists, psychiatrists, I work with clients, you know, as clients and so on, and most of the time, it's really sad because they give them drugs and, you know, they give them palliatives and anything to maintain them, but they're not getting to some of the causes. Whereas if they were going to some of the alternative modalities and ways of thinking, get out of the box, they would realize that two of the main causes of PTSD, that's what my guys tell me. Number one, past life remembrances. Number two, they're picking up entities and stuff on the battlefield because their vibrations are very low. You've got to be almost in that state to be able to kill or survive. You've got to kill to survive. You can't be up high, or you're going to get it. You've got to be down at a certain point, and there are ghosts probably on just about all the battlefields, probably this whole earth, the way humans have been, it's pretty much been fought over. So you get a soldier, they're already at a low place, kill or be killed, fear and everything, then it's going to attach a like-minded or a like individual spirit. It also brings up past life memories that you kick into, and then you've got to deal with them, but how do you deal with them? We've all had thousands of lifetimes, you say, that there was that one or two maybe that really kind of kicked in, and it's waiting there buried, and needs to be dealt with, but you haven't, and then what brings it out? So they wake up screaming a lot of times. It's not only the recent, it's from the past. So I find it a rather marvelous universe. It's not mysterious. It's always interesting. You know, just kind of like you guys, you keep your minds open. You're dowsers, my gosh, you know, you get out of the box. I mean, look at Bill. I know I do, but I'm never in that box. You're never in the box, are you, Bill?
Is there a box?
What box? There you go, what box? You know the old thing about the butterflies, I just love it. You know, two butterflies are in a box. And one butterfly says, I'm getting bored, I'm going to get out of the box. Well, the other butterfly says, wait a minute, don't leave the box. We're safe inside the box. So the other butterfly, he flies out to the opening, he says, you may be safe, but I am free. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how true. Well, folks, I'm just to finish up. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. I don't think we have, because you guys have really helped me with your questions. You know, let me just make sure I haven't missed anything. You know about your attitude. Back to what the tools we use on the Decatur Ghost Tour. Well, they use cameras. On investigations, you can use EMF meters, which pick up the electromagnetic, the energy of the spirit. Okay, you can use temperature sensing devices. They got infrared cameras, you name it. We find on the tour that our cheap little $50 Nikon will pick up some of the greatest activity. Once again, keep it simple, all right? The thing is that one of our best things is we use dowsing rods. Yes, they love it. I mean, I cannot claim I had that idea. My guys gave it to me. Pump it up, boo. Get some dowsing rods. I said, we're going to get dowsing rods. I can't afford a bunch of dowsing rods for 20 people. They said,
No, no,
and they go to the dry cleaners. So lo and behold, I got to know the dry cleaner. I take her ice cream now and then. Her name is Teresa, you know. She saves me the metal coat hangers. I figured out 12 inches for the length, 6 inches for the handle. Well, voila, we have dowsing rods. Kind of helps demystify all of this for people when they're using something that's such a common object as a metal coat hanger. Did you see? Also, though, it helps them to kind of be free, to kind of open up, have fun. They're literally connecting with the ghosts. They're not just listening to boo. They're getting actual evidence. Oh, these other beings are around me. Sometimes it's kind of scary for them when they start to realize, can't see what's next to me, but something's answering my question. Yes. Two things we tell them, though, is have fun. Also, laugh, stamp your feet, get that energy flowing, because adults, the kids on the tour, those dowsing rods are cranking for them. Oh my gosh. The reason being is the kids haven't gotten into the issues that a lot of us adults have as far as harsh self-judgment. I don't care what it is, even working with those rods, some of those adults are like, is it gonna work? Am I gonna be perfect? Am I gonna squirt? Vibrations go down. They get blocked. The energy gets blocked. Okay, it makes it harder for the ghosts to get through. Ghosts can't connect. Duh. Those kids are out there, woohoo! I got Johnny on the line. You know, you know. So we tell people, just laugh, have a good time. If I see a dour, sour psychic, oh my God, I say, have a good day. I smile. It's to have fun. It's to have fun with that. It doesn't have to be so serious and oh my gosh, all that kind of stuff. No. Not the other realm about joy and so on. The dowsing rods. Thank you guys for getting the word out too. I tell them, I say, there's a dowsing club here if you want to know more about it. You know, there's a dowsing club here. They'll help you with it. But anyway, it's mainly about having fun. That's the thing right there. And let me make sure, let's see, hold on. Oh, it is really interesting to see people, especially adults, when they do get that reaction. Because most people, by the time they get to be adults, they've kind of lost the magic. They don't really believe in the magic of life and so on, the other realms and so on. And I like to think that when they get that experience or those experiences with the paranormal, with the ghost, and it's a well-done tour, they're getting explanation, I think it's very well done. The thing is, it kind of helps open them up to other possibilities in the mundane, earthly world, kind of dull world they live in a lot of times with its fears and so on. They start to realize the universe is vast. You know, we are not alone. I just love that. I've always wanted to say that. I've never said it before, guys. We are not alone. You guys realize that. Anyway, about the book here real quickly. One reason why I wrote it, it did take me a while, but what really kept me trudging along to get it out was that I owed a debt to the spirit realms that I've worked with for so long, that have supported me, that have loved me and so on. I owed it to them to get the word out about the spirits, about the ghosts, to help humanize them so people realize these are divine spirits just like you and I. They've just changed forms, they've just gotten stuck with their issues, and it's interesting. A lot of the issues that, now we go into the issues that the ghosts have, you get to know them, how they were when they were alive, okay, their personalities and so on. But it's interesting because a lot of the issues that the ghosts have, people, if they're the least little bit astute, can see themselves in those issues and hopefully do something about them before they too get stuck or live a joyless life and so on. They can learn from the ghosts. So I guess you could say I kind of wrote it for humans also. Well, folks, we will finish. That is it. The book is for sale if you want it. If not, you can go on Amazon, $14.95, whatever. But thank you so much for having me, guys, tonight. Thank you. Yes, Sam.
When are the tours?
I'm sorry.
When are the tours?